and on we'll go.
It's Kirsten back with another video. It's been a really long time. Now, I took a brief hiatus. SAT word right there for you. Anyways, I graduated. So that's exciting. I'm really happy about that. I graduated. It was weird, you know, Corona graduation, but it was cool. I graduated and that chapter of my life is done. It's crazy.
By high school, I guess.
I also had to, you know, edit my senior slideshow and my speech that I did, so it's just been crazy busy, but I'm really glad to be filming another video. A few of you guys requested in the comments of my previous videos to talk about my SAT and how I got the score that I did with like not really that much studying. I didn't really study like I should have, but I digress. Hey, another vocab word. But if you guys haven't watched my college decision video or my stats video, those are on my channel. You guys can find them. I can link them below as well, but go check those out. Without further ado, let's just get right into this video. Alright, so to get into the nitty and gritty of the SAT. So, like I said in my stats video, I really didn't study for the SATs as much as I should have. I'm gonna be honest. I'm just gonna put that out there. I should have studied more, okay? I should have, but it's fine.
This is fine. I'm okay with the events that are unfolding currently.
Alright, so to start with the math portion of the SAT. So this is what I struggled with the most. I got a 680 on the math section, and I was happy with this. I mean, I wasn't thrilled. I was hoping to at least get a 700. It doesn't matter what score you get. I'm just putting that out there. Everyone is amazing, and this is just a standardized test that just looks at a few things. Like, I think of myself as more creative than I do, like, analytical, academic in that way. You know, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't. And you guys will all be happy and successful even if you don't get the score you want on the SAT. Just saying. Just putting it in there for you guys. So the math section, what I did is I had a great teacher who was super helpful, and we asked her for some help, and she actually gave us like a packet of every section. She had like an SAT book or something, and it was like every section there was like a review and then like problems to do. Hear the wind chimes. Sorry about the wind. So basically there was like one on circles, like one on area, one on factoring. I don't know, there's literally like 13 or 14 just like chunks, and she gave us this like folder, and we had like a calendar, and basically we would try to get them done like every week or 2 weeks, which I didn't really do all the time. I really tried my hardest, but that's kind of how I studied for math, and I just kind of reviewed this. It took a while, so I mean, things I would have learned at the beginning, I'm not sure I really would have remembered at the end. But yeah, I recommend doing that, so just talking with teachers and seeing if they have like an SAT review book to do that, or there's literally probably like looking up kind of what's included on the SAT and then just looking up review packets online and stuff. There's literally so many resources online you guys can use. You know, I don't think you need to go out and buy a book or you need to take a class, but you definitely can. I do wish we had the option to take a class, but my school didn't offer it. I mean, that's obviously a great resource, and I know it's helped a lot of people, so that's a really good idea too. But basically for math, like, I'm not the greatest with it. My timing, I really struggle with answering on time, and I mean, it is tough. I do the process of elimination. I think that if you don't do that, then that's something you should definitely start doing, a skill you should start doing, you know, process of elimination of, okay, I get down to these two answers and I know it's one of these two. I'm just going to choose one and move on. And the fill in the blank ones, those are so tough. Worst comes to worst, always guess like 0 or 10 or just like a number that is common, because sometimes you just never know. Like 0, 1, 10. I usually do that. I'm not sure if it's ever really helped me, but I know they always recommend doing that. Alright, but then to move on to the reading section, reading and writing, that's kind of where I scored a lot better. I got a 750 on that, and I'm really proud of that score. I work really hard in English classes and stuff, so I definitely like worked hard for that score. Reading is really tough because I feel like it's a skill that you start in kindergarten when you first go into school. Like, I've always loved reading, and so I tend to be a really fast reader, and I think that really helps me, but I definitely think that I've developed strategies on the SAT that helped me a lot, and so that's what I'm going to share with you guys today. I know a lot of teachers will tell you to like skip around and look at the prompts that you think you'll answer the best, like, and read the quickest and whatever, but I just think that is not good advice in my opinion. I think just go from the beginning to the end. If you take the time to like go in and decide, oh, I want to do this prompt, not this prompt, and then you skip around and then you have to count the numbers, I think it just takes way too much time when you're going to answer them anyways. Just go from the beginning to the end. That's what I do. I instantly jump in. I don't really even look at the directions because I already know them, and I just jump in and start with the first prompt and just go like that. I just think that helps so much because you're just jumping right into it, you're getting into the mode already, and I think that's really beneficial. The same goes for answering questions. I always answer questions in order. I think it's helpful and you don't get lost, you don't get confused, you don't spend time trying to organize because it's already organized from, you know, the order that it's in. Another strategy that I do, so I first read the prompt. I don't read all the prompts, I just read like the one I'm working on. So I read the prompt once, and when I'm going through, I kind of underline or write stars by things I think they're gonna ask questions about. And so you might be like, oh, well, what do you think they're gonna ask questions about, Kirsten? I don't know. And basically, it's just from practice that we do in class or whatever. But you know, I kind of do like, oh, this is a metaphor, so I just write a little star. Or, oh, this is a good vocabulary word, I bet they'll ask about that. This is parallelism, this is comparing, this is contrasting, whatever. And this helps me so much because not only does it help me if I have a question about it, but it also helps me really focus in on the reading because I'm dissecting it as I'm going along, and I think it's super helpful to really get you into the mode of concentrating because sometimes when you just read it, you get lost. But when you're focusing on looking for things that, you know, oh, I need to focus on looking what they're going to ask questions about, it really helps you focus in on the reading and comprehend what you're reading. The next thing I do when I'm answering a question, I always, like with math, eliminate it down to 2 answers, and I think this is just helpful with any standardized test you take. But in the end, I don't spend more than 1 or 2 minutes on a question. I mean, I don't like look at the timer all the time, but I just can kind of know, like in my head, okay,
Kirsten, you're spending a little bit long on this question. It's time to move on.
I will just look at it, and then if I'm taking too long, I'll choose the one I think. And I always bubble in an answer. I never leave anything blank because chances are by the end of the section, you're not gonna have any time left. So you might as well just take a guess, not worry about,
oh dang, I left that one blank. Oh no, I should have just answered.
You don't want that to happen. Just answer it and take your best guess on it. But what I do is if by chance I happen to have time left at the end, I always circle and star it. So then when I'm going back through my questions, I see the ones I starred and then I say, okay, I need to focus on those again. But if I'm like, oh, I really think I could get this one if I just had a couple more minutes, I double star it. And that's kind of showing like priority. So this is how I kind of organize the way like I answer questions is at the end, if I happen to have a couple minutes left, I go back to the double stars, and then if I have even more, I'll go to the single stars, and that's just kind of how I organize it. How I prep for, you know, the reading and writing section, I think it's definitely important to go over all your grammar rules, like, you know, order structure, or if I can talk today, sentence structure, you know, is it me or is it I? And what I kind of do when I'm taking the test is, did you know that some people don't have a voice in their head? Like, I can talk to myself with my own voice in my head, but not everyone has that. Comment below if you don't have that, because I guess it's like a fact I learned.
I'm just super interested by that.
But anyways,
to continue, so basically I'll use like the voice in my head and kind of read the ones like, oh, is it and I, and me, or, you know, is this apostrophe there, blah, 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 blah.
Don't say blah, blah, blah.
You know, I'll kind of do that, or if I really need extra help, I'll kind of like mouth it to myself or whatever, and I think that's really helpful, especially like with the questions where it's like, oh, what order should this be in? I think it's very helpful to read it to yourself, and I think, I mean, this is advice you should be hopefully getting by your teachers, but if you haven't, definitely try that out. For writing, I do the same thing. I go in order, and if I don't know one, I will star and double starred. I really think you guys should try that out. It's super helpful method to just do that, to kind of have priority in there. I looked up some sample questions and stuff. It's been, you know, over a year since I've done this. Obviously study too, like, oh, should it be the 3 theirs? Like, I think it's just a lot of times it just comes up in conversation. You know, the more questions you ask, the more conversations you have with people. I just think your vocabulary and grammar grow as you grow up. It's hard. I think a huge part of the test is just time management. I think that's literally what it is. It's like,
Who can manage their time the best?
well, and who knows math skills a lot. Because, I mean, a lot of the questions, I think if people had more time, they could get. It's just like, you need to prioritize and say, like, this is a more important question because I have a better chance of getting more points on it. And always make sure to guess, because you don't lose points, so you might as well just guess. It's a really tricky thing that we have to deal with. Obviously, standardized tests aren't fun, and no one likes doing them, and they really, you know, they aren't an accurate representation of your intelligence. I mean, on the first one, I got a 690 on the reading and writing, and a 750 the second time. So the 60 points did not come from extra studying. They just came from having different prompts and managing my time differently. So it doesn't, you know, I'm not 70 points smarter the second time around. It's just random, and, you know, don't fret about it, because it really isn't everything in colleges. It's important, but it's not everything. And so just keep that in mind, and I wish you guys the best of luck taking the SATs, and you got it. If you guys have any other questions or other video ideas, please leave it in the comments, because it was really cool that some of you guys asked about it. It made me feel really cool, so I love talking with you guys. It's super fun. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Stay tuned for my next video that will be coming out soon. Subscribe and hit the like button. Leave a comment if you'd like, preferably a kind one. You know, I'm trying my best here, okay? These take like over 8 hours to 10 hours to edit. Just letting you know. Just letting you know. So thank you guys so much, and I will see you super soon. Bye! I keep looking over here because I'm just like, I want to make sure it's in focus. But I'm supposed to be looking here, not here, here, not here, here, you know?